McMurray gets it over here in the corner. Now down low to Humphreys. Back to Hubbard. Kick it over to Scott. Back to McMurray. Shoots a three. Shot McMurray. No good. Rebound Wales. Wales long pass in front court to Miles. Miles loses possession of the ball. Thrown away. Thrown away by McMurray. McMurray has it for Gate City. Gets it to Scott. Scott puts it on the floor. Drives down. His shot off the glass. Missed it. Rebound Humphreys. Humphreys put back. Good. He's fouled. Sometimes the dog gets you and sometimes you get the dog. Right now we're getting them pretty good. I don't know what Scotty told him at halftime, but I'd love to bottle it. I think we can sell it for a lot.
It's priceless.
And we didn't stay in the locker room about 3 minutes, too.
Yeah.
Well, the bottom line was, boys, you got embarrassed in the first half. Now what are you going to do? So, Humphreys has the Blue Devils within 4. He can get them within 3 if he can hit the free throw. Free throw by Will Humphreys. On the way. No good. Rebound, Stacy.
It's Tim.
Stacy for Norton. Long time to go in this one, 7 minutes. Gate City trails by 4. Stacy has it. Stacy drives down the lane. Shot up, no good. Rebound, Will Humphreys for the Blue Devils. Humphreys gets it over to McMurray. McMurray for Gate City, drives into the lane, leaves it off for Hubbard, and it goes off Will out of bounds. And I don't have any sound here. Miles with it. Miles brings it in front court. His shot up, good, and he's fouled. Foul will be called on Luke Humphreys. Miles with a bucket. Norton needed that bucket in the worst way. Foul on Luke is his first. That's the team's 8th. Scott set to check in, does so for E-step.
Gate City outscored Burton 34 to 17 in the third quarter.
Lorenzo Miles, shot good. So Norton extends that lead back out to 7. Gate City had the ball twice, down 4 and couldn't convert. Scott has it back to McMurray for 3. Shot good. Jesse McMurray for 3. Devils back within 4. Stacy with it. Stacy can't get it. Almost stepped in bounds. Stacy has it across the midcourt line. Stacy puts it on the floor. Those legs not near as fresh as they were in the first quarter. Here's Wales. Wales, he stops, he turns, he shoots, he misses. Stacy crashes the boards. His shot good. Big bucket there. McMurray gets it to Hubbard, back to McMurray. Will he make another one? No. Rebound coming out of there with it. Humphreys. Humphreys gets it down low to Will Humphreys. Will back to Luke, now to McMurray. McMurray to Scott. Scott puts it on the floor, down low. Will Humphreys, shot off glass, good. Still a 4-point game, long way to go, 5:40. Mullins. Mullins has it across the timeline. Now to Wales. Wales out on the floor. Picks up his dribble, gets it to Miles. That's who they want to handle the ball, he and Stacy. Mullins with it. Mullins drives back to Robinson. Robinson gets it to Wales. Wales drives down the lane, runs over Humphreys. Offensive foul, Abe Wales. And that is his 5th.
What a job by Humphreys.
Yes,
to see him coming and step in front.
That's exactly right. So Abe Wales will foul out. Now that evens things up a lot as far as being in the lane. Wales, a bunch of points here. We'll count them and see how many. Actually, 20 points for Wales. Drew Scott leads with 24. We've got a timeout on the floor. Gate City trails 62-58. So in the fourth quarter, Gate City trailed by 29 at halftime. They now trail by 4 and have the ball. Scott has it, drives along the baseline. His jumper up, no good. Rebound, Will Humphreys. Humphreys kicks it back to McMurray. Long 3 by McMurray, good. Jesse McMurray with 3. And the Blue Devils within 5 minutes to go. Unbelievable. Stacy with it for the Raiders. Stacy spin moves, drives down the lane. His shot up, no good. The rebound, Will Humphreys. Will gets it over to McMurray. McMurray across the timeline. Gate City can take the lead. Scott gets it along down low to Humphreys. Back to Scott. Drew, will it go? No, it's short. Rebound, Hubbard. Hubbard with it. Gets it back to McMurray for three. Shot good. Gets it McMurray for three, and the Blue Devils lead 64-62 after trailing by 29. Here's Miles. His shot off. Good for Renzo Miles. We're tied at 64. Scott with it. Gets it over to Luke Humphreys. Luke cross court pass to McMurray. Leave him alone. Good. Devils by three. They've helped Gordon Norton by 32 points in the second half. The broadcasters over here that are Norton fans are not real happy right now. We're Blue Devil, and Norton throws it away. Mullins throws it away. Gate City will have it.
Up by three with 3:52 to play.
I'll tell you what. Like you just never know. That's why a ball game's 4 quarters long. McMurray with it for Gate City. Gets it over here to Humphreys. Now back to McMurray. To Scott. Now to Hubbard. I'm not sure that forcing it wouldn't be better here. Here's McMurray for three. Shot no good. Rebound touch last by Norton. Yep.
Exactly right.
It goes, actually Hubbard, I believe, tipped it off of Reed.
Yep.
Good effort by Hubbard. 3:30 to go. Gate City by 3. McMurray has it for Gate City. Kicks it out here to Luke Humphreys. Luke with it. Now back to McMurray. McMurray gets it to Scott. Now back to Hubbard. Hubbard back to Scott. Scott drives in the lane. He'll shot up. We're going to call him for Waffle. 67-64. Gate City leads. 3:16 to go. Miles on the inbounds, gets it back to Stacy. Stacy with it, drives all the way down, leaves it off, shot up, blocked away by Scott. Out of bounds. It'll belong to Norton. 3:08 to go in regulation. Stacy on the inbound, gets it into Miles. Miles lobs it over here for Mullins. Mullins gets it down low to Stacy. Stacy turns, shoots, misses. Rebound Hubbard for the Blue Devils. Hubbard gets it over to McMurray. Gate City with a 3-point lead. Let's extend it a little. Now Hubbard with it. Over to Scott. Scott back to McMurray. Back to Scott. Back to McMurray. Scott and McMurray. Scott. Will Humphrey. Will Hubbard. Jesse McMurray for Gate City with it now. McMurray picks up his dribble, skips it back to Scott. Now Luke Humphrey. In the corner, Will Humphreys. Cross court, McMurray. McMurray penetrates, gets it over here to Luke Humphreys. Gate City run the little clock. Wonder why Norton didn't do that, leading by 29 at halftime.
Good question.
I'm not going to question Coach Wilson. He's won way too many games for that. Scott. Gate City just 2 minutes to go now, leading by 3. Scott with it. Only 5 team fouls on Norton. Oh, Scotty threw it away. Miles comes out there with it. Miles takes it all the way down. He's stripped by Hubbard. And a foul on Will Hubbard. Chuck Stearns calls it. No way he could have saw it. Foul on Will's his third. That'll be 1-1 for Norton. It'll be after a timeout by Gate City. They lead 67-64, minute 50 to go. Minute 50 seconds to go. Gate City leads 67-64. They trail by 29 points, 44-15 at halftime. Here's Miles. He'll launch a long three. No good. Rebound. Hubbard fights for it. McMurray comes out there with it for Gate City. McMurray has it in front court. Gets it over here to Eastep. Back to McMurray. McMurray over here to Hubbard. Now to Luke Humphreys. Luke with it. Luke will be tied up and actually fouled. If that's Miles, that's 5 on Miles. It is. That's 5 on Miles. So all the scoring now for Norton has fouled out. 26 points for Lorenzo Miles. So Gate City will have Luke Humphreys. Luke scoreless on the night. Will be shooting 2. I looked at the scoreboard wrong a minute ago. That's 10 team fouls on Norton. Gate City only has 6. Free throw Luke, no good. Luke needs to hit this one to make it a 2-possession game. But quite honestly, Norton will have trouble scoring without Miles and Wells, considering they have all but 16 points of their total. Luke hits the second.
Scott in for Luke Humphreys.
(68-64) Gate City leads. 1:32 to go in regulation. Here's the lob in to Mullins. No fouls. Mullins gets it to Stacy. He'll be the guy to look to shoot. Here's Stacy, drives down, shot up, good. Can't let him do that. He's the only one out there that can score for Norton. McMurray for Gate City in a 2-point lead. Minute 15 to go. Ball kicked by Robinson. It'll belong to Gate City. The Blue Devils will be shooting 2 on every foul, though, so that will help if they're fouled, which I imagine would happen. Not yet, though. Gate City leads by 2. Scott gets it to Will Humphreys. Will puts it on the floor, and he's fouled by Stacy. Foul on Stacy's his 4th. And that'll be 2 shots for Will Humphreys. (68-66). Gate City leads.
You can make it a 2-possession game again.
Yes, he can. Free throw Will, good. And these 2 teams could meet again a week from tonight for the Region D championship. It's a possibility, certainly. Both of them have a tough road to hoe to get there. Humphreys, 2-possession game as he hits them both. 70-66, Gate City scored 55 second-half points. Stacy with it. And they did all that with Nate Clark, their point guard, on the bench. He fouled out in the first half. Stacy has the ball tipped, thrown away Scott for the Blue Devils. 48 seconds. Get it over to McMurray. McMurray with it, 44 seconds. Devils by 4. McMurray in front court. Gets it over here to Luke Humphreys. Actually, it's kicked out of bounds by Robinson. It'll belong to Gate City, and Norton will ask for a timeout. 38.5 seconds to go. The Devils lead by 4. Seconds to go. Gate City leads by 4. They have the basketball. Hubbard on the inbounds, gets it into McMurray. Before that, we're going to have a hold called away from the ball. The foul will be on Lee Robinson, holding, I believe, Will Humphreys.
You're right, as Will goes to the line.
Will will be shooting 2, and there's people heading for the exits. My guess is a lot of them are blocked in.
Yeah, you hear them call tag numbers quite often, but tonight they were calling people's names as the police or the sheriff's office looked them up.
Will Humphreys hits the free throw. 71-66. Gate City leads by 5. That's not surprising. What's surprising is they trailed by 29 at the half. Humphreys hits the second. 72-66, 35 seconds to go. Here's Stacy. He'll launch a 3. Will it go? Yes, it will. David Stacy for 3. Timeout. Norton Raiders, 31.5 seconds to go. They trail by 3. All 31.5 seconds to go. They lead by 3. On the inbounds, McMurray has it. McMurray in backcourt. Can't get through the double team. Gets it to Hubbard. Hubbard to Humphreys. Humphreys is shoved and fouled in backcourt. It'll be a 2-shot foul. It's long ago. That was more than 10 on Norton. So it'll be Luke Humphreys for Gate City. Stepping to the line. He needs to hit at least 1. 2 be preferable.
Good job of Luke bringing the ball up the court.
Humphreys free throw, good.
Way to go, Lefty.
That's just what I was going to say. I like those left-handed people. All right. Humphrey second, short. Rebound, the Raiders. Don't just make sure Stacy don't touch it. Coach Vermillion's got their best defender, Hubbard, on Stacy. Here's a shot for three, no good. Hubbard gets a rebound. Hubbard has it, gets it over here to Scott. 10 seconds to go. Gate City leads by 4. Scott's fouled. And the Blue Devils are going to pull out the miracle in Appalachia here tonight. And Drew Scott had a huge hand in that.
And he's played quite a while with 4 fouls.
Yes, he has. But certainly not only Drew. Jesse got on track in the second half, and every Blue Devil out there. It's been a...
And this was done without the point guard.
Yeah. It's done without the best ball handling guard in Southwest Virginia.
He fouled out with 2:49 to go in the second quarter.
Gate City leads by 5. Scott second, also good. I believe we'll count them up. That's Drew's 26 point. That'll be a career high. 6 seconds, 5 seconds. Here's Stacy. Shoots, and he's fouled by Will Hubbard. Will knows better than that. And I don't know if Stacy was shooting 3 or not. If he was, he gets 3 free throws here. Anything's possible.
We've seen it so far.
Trust me, anything's possible. If you can trail by 29 at half and end up winning here in the second half, that's something else. Stacy's free throw. Good. No good.
It looked good, except for one thing. It
didn't go in. Kind of like some of ours in the first half. Stacy's second free throw up. No good. And you know Stacy, he's wore out. I mean, he had to carry the scoring load half of this fourth quarter or more with Miles and Wells fouling out.
He has 11 rebounds on the night.
No, he had a great game. But the Blue Devils lead 75-70, 4.7 seconds to go. Drew Scott will be shooting 2. Well, I've seen a lot of things, but I don't know that I've ever witnessed a team come from 29 points down at halftime to win in person. If I have, I certainly don't remember. Drew Scott, 26 points. 27 points. And it was against the Norton Raiders at Norton when Drew came in the second half. Give us a lead.
Right.
And since then, Drew's been...
Yeah, and Gate City had a big run in the fourth quarter in that game.
Here's Stacy with it in backcourt. Devils lead by 7. Stacy's shot for 3. No good. And the Gate City Blue Devils have pulled the miracle off here at Appalachia tonight. They trail 44-15 at halftime and win 77-70. That is unbelievable. 77-70, Gate City wins. Stranger things have happened. I tell you right now, that's kind of second half performance. I mean, we came out in the second half, Mike, and just, I think we were probably a little embarrassed in the first half. And, and you don't make a Blue Devil mad, not if it's a Gate City Blue Devil. And somehow, some way, with just a lot of hustle and heart, we pull out the win here, 77-70.
Well, when the point guard Nate Clark fouled out, the other players just stepped it up.
Yeah.
Drew Scott, for example.
77-70. Waiting the trophy presentation. We'll have the regular season championship trophy presented, and we'll just talk about that for right now. We'll have the regular season and tournament champion. And we'll have the most valuable player.
Well, it sure looked like Gate City was going to lose their first game to an LPD team this season.
Yeah, but they didn't.
They refused to lose.
That trophy is for the regular season championship. And that was won by the Blue Devils, a perfect 14-0 record. The runner-up trophy LPD tournament goes to the J.I. Burton Raiders, who for the first half of this game owned the game. It was definitely a game of two halves. Now the Norton Press, the most valuable tournament player.
Most valuable player presented to Mr. Jesse McMurray.
Jesse McMurray of Gate City. McMurray presented with that, and some boos across the way from the Norton fans, and that's real sportsmanship, but that's the way it goes. And you know, I certainly wouldn't boo, but if I were sitting there with them with, you know, the tournament Miles had, you know, he had 56 points in 2 games here. That was, but Jesse certainly well deserving of that most valuable player award. And now the tournament championship trophy also goes to the Gate City Blue Devils. So congratulations to the Blue Devils, regular season and tournament champions, and to Jesse McMurray, the most valuable player of the Lonesome Pine District tournament. We'll take a break right here. We'll come back to wrap up the stats here after this. At the high school, the LPD tournament for 2003-2004 season is in the books, and the Gate City Blue Devils are the LPD tournament champions. They defeated the John I. Burton Raiders here tonight 77-70. That's not a surprise that Gate City won the game. What is a surprise is they trailed at the half 44-15 at 29 points, outscoring Norton. We jokingly said at halftime, all we got to do is outscore them by 30 in the second half and we win. Well, we did. Outscored them by more than 30 in the second half. Actually, 36 points actually in the second half to win 77-70. I tell you, that was a gut check by the Blue Devils, and they when the bell sounded for the second half, Gate City got it to what? They added about 21, 22 points halfway through the third quarter, then got it down to about 18, and then in the last 30 seconds, got it within what? 9 points at the end of the third quarter. Is that right? Eight points at the end of the third quarter, and. I don't know what the record is at Gate City High School for points and a half, but this team just scored 62 second half points. 62 points. If that's not a record, I'd like to see the team that had it.
Had both teams with 27 rebounds. Stacy with 11. To lead all rebounders tonight. 24 turnovers for Norton, 13 for Gate City.
Take a look at the final scoring. First for J.I. Burton. 7 Sams, a field goal, 2 of 2 from the line, 4 points. Chris Mullins had a 2-point field goal, a 3-point field goal, 2 of 2 from the line, 7 points. David Stacy, 4 field goals. 1 3-point field goal, 1 of 3 from the line. He had 12 points. Abe Wells had 4 field goals. Wells was 12 of 14 from the free throw line. Wells finishes with 20. And the leading scorer tonight for Norton was Lorenzo Miles. 5 2-point field goals, 4 3-point field goals, 4 of 5 from the free throw line. 26 points tonight for Lorenzo Miles. Norton hits 20 out of 23 free throws. That's You won't do much better than that. For the Blue Devils, Will Hubbard a field goal, 0 of 2 from the line, 2 points. Jesse McMurray had 1 2-point field goal, 5 3-point field goals, 4 4 from the free throw line. Jesse with 21, I think 16 of those came in the second half. Gate City's Nate Clark scores 2 points tonight on 1 field goal. Nate fouled out with 3 minutes to go in the first half. Nate fouled out. Luke Humphreys, 2 of 4 from the line, 2 points. Mark Eastep, 2 field goals, 0 of 2 from the line, 4 points. Derek Smith, a field goal, 2 points. Will Humphreys had 4 field goals. He was 8 of 9 from the line. Will was 16. And the leading scorer tonight for the Blue Devils, arguably playing the best game of his Blue Devil career, was Drew Scott. I don't know if you can argue with that or not. It's not arguably, I don't think. I think you can argue that. 5 field goals, 4 3-point field goals, 6 of 7 from the free throw line. Career high tonight for Drew Scott, 28 points. So the Blue Devils, the boys JV team, trailed Norton 18-8 at halftime and come back and won by 10. I thought that was pretty good, but 29 points the Blue Devils trailed at halftime tonight. 44-15, win 77-70. So it's off to Castlewood Tuesday night. Norton will play the second game, the 8:30 game that night. They'll play the number 2 team out of the Cumberland. No, the number 2 team out of the Black Diamond. Gate City will play at 7 o'clock, and they'll play the runner-up of the Cumberland district.
That's right.
So, fortunately for the Blue Devils, they get a couple of days off. Fortunately for us,
yes,
we get a couple of days off. But if we played tomorrow night, I guess we'd be here.
You're right.
So, having said that, that's pretty much it. We'll wrap it up here from Appalachia. The Blue Devils win the LPD regular season and the LPD tournament championship 77-70. Good night from Appalachia.